Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, trapped in Qatar, a family's 3-hour layover turns to days because of the war in Iran. A grassroots group growing how Forever Canadian plans to get louder and larger ahead of a potential vote on separation. And adding affordable housing, the feds and province spending millions to build new homes in Jasper.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
A family from Edmonton that was only supposed to spend 3 hours in Qatar is now trapped there because of the escalating violence in the Middle East. As CTV's Nicole Lampa explains, their journey home started off with difficulties and is only getting worse.
Intercepted missile explosions have become the norm for an Edmonton family stuck in Qatar's capital.
Today it was more intense compared to other days because generally like 2 to 3 explosions, but today we hear like continuously 7 to 8 explosions.
Nirmal Benuwal says he and his family were on their way home to Edmonton after spending a month in India. Just over a week ago, their flight from New Delhi was delayed for 2 days. On Saturday, the Benuwals, including their 2 children, made it to Doha. After a brief layover, they boarded a flight to Dallas, which was cut short.
And we ended up doing the emergency landing after like 3 to 4 hours in the air.
Now back in Doha, they encountered chaos and confusion on the ground. All the flights were canceled because of the American attack on Iran. That evening, the Benuwals heard Iran's first attempted missile attack over Doha.
The U.S. air base from where we are staying right now is not that far. So whenever there is an missile or drone attack, you can hear the big bang, boom sounds.
Because of where Qatar is situated, the airspace above is closed.
The only way out, I think, maybe by road to the neighboring country and then getting a flight from there.
Benuwal says German nationals at his hotel are escaping thanks to their country. He's been told they are taking an 8-hour bus ride to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia and flying out from there. Benuwal is looking for the same type of help from Canada.
I especially see the impact of this war, especially on the children right now. Like they are traumatized and they are scared.
Benuwal has registered with Canadians abroad requesting assistance. He has also reached out to his Edmonton Southeast MP. His office says they are in contact with constituents stuck in the region. Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
An equipment rental company is facing nearly a dozen charges after a deadly tent collapse at a meditation retreat nearly 2 years ago. In August of 2024, a storm in Westlock knocked down a tent, killing 1 person and injuring others. Nearly 100 people were inside the tent at the time. Occupational Health and Safety has laid 10 charges against Alberta Special Event Equipment Rentals and Sales Limited. One of the charges describes the unsafe installation of the tent as creating identifiable and controllable hazards. The allegations have not been tested in court. The province says 16 new school projects planned for rural Alberta will help alleviate pressure in the classroom.
We're making these crucial investments to build new schools across the province to catch up with the historic population growth that has been straining our classrooms and staff.
Some of the new schools will be in Lac La Biche, Stony Plain, and Sylvan Lake. Other projects will see schools revamped, modernized, or expanded. School boards in St. Albert and Fort Saskatchewan are pleased with the new plans.
We work really hard to advocate for what is best and right for our students, and I believe that today is the day that the government has listened to us.
We know that we are ready to hit the ground with our plan so that we can, as quickly as possible, access the funds that will help us get this school built.
The current funding is only for the planning and design phase, not construction. Opposition NDP leader Naheed Nenshi is criticizing the amount of money spent on design instead of construction. Education Minister Dimitrios Nikolaides says while the province does have several off-the-shelf school designs, fitting them onto different size lots isn't always an option. Starting next month, Alberta's wine tax will revert to a flat markup. Budget 2025 introduced velour markup rates on wine, meaning the markup amount increased as the price of wine increased. That sparked backlash from the winery industry. A coalition from Alberta and BC's wine and hospitality industries argued the rate disproportionately affects smaller producers and independent retailers. The province said it only applied to 16% of wines Albertans were buying. It will get rid of the ad valorem markup April 1st and increase the standard volume-based markup for wine products by 58 cents a litre. A grassroots group fighting to keep Alberta a part of Canada is back and growing. Forever Canadian expects a referendum will happen in the fall and is now trying to generate even more support. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
We have been quiet for a while.
Forever Canadian hopes to get louder in the coming months. Last fall, the group collected nearly 500,000 signatures in a successful citizen-led petition to keep Alberta part of Canada.
We were hoping that this issue would be resolved in the legislature by a simple vote, but it appears that through a number of rule changes by our Alberta government, we are now heading towards a referendum in October.
An opposing group, the Alberta Prosperity Project, is collecting signatures of its own to force a referendum, asking for Alberta to separate.
I don't understand the people that don't like this idea, because Alberta will be the richest country in the world almost. We would be so much better off with our health care and pensions and the works.
Forever Canadian spokesperson and former Alberta Deputy Premier Thomas Lukaszuk says it won't be an easy fight.
We acknowledge the fact that there are issues in the relationship within our federation. Albertans have issues, British Columbians have issues, Nova Scotians have issues. Those issues need to be resolved, but separation is not the answer. Separation will only cause more problems.
Nous sommes Canadiens pour toujours.
Today, the Association Canadienne Française de l'Alberta, representing 260,000 Francophone Albertans, threw its support behind Forever Canadian. It believes Francophone Albertans won't have the same protections they now enjoy in an independent Alberta.
So this is why we're here today, to ensure that our rights are protected for today and the future.
Forever Canadian says it will be ready.
And we're not only going to win this referendum, we are going to win this referendum decisively, so we will put separatism to bed once and for all in Alberta.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
3 more recall petitions against UCP MLAs have failed. The signature collection period to recall MLAs Adriana LaGrange, Tanya Furr, and Peter Singh ended today. The Albertans behind those petitions say they failed to collect the number of signatures required. The period to collect signatures to recall NDP MLA Amanda Chapman also ended today. We're waiting to hear how many signatures were collected in that. 8 of the 26 recall petitions are still eligible to collect signatures, including one to recall Premier Danielle Smith. So far, every single petition has failed. The Edmonton Oilers have traded away a veteran forward who recently cleared waivers and a draft pick for a pair of centers. The Oilers are sending Andrew Mangiapane and a first-round pick to the Chicago Blackhawks for Jason Dickinson and Colton Dock. 30-year-old Dickinson has 13 points in 47 games this season. Dock is 23 years old. He has 9 points in 53 games. Oilers general manager Stan Bowman says Dickinson will help prevent goals, while Dock will add size and energy.
They all have very specific identities, and they bring an element that I think our team was missing, and that's what we're most excited about.
Bowman says he doesn't expect to make any other moves, but will keep his options open until the trade deadline passes tomorrow afternoon. Josh is down at the Mighty Millions Lottery show home in Keswick this evening. Josh, I'm not sure what's more beautiful, the dream home or the weather outside today?
You know what's even more beautiful than that is the view all year long from this home here in Keswick, backs onto the River Valley, unobstructed views of the trees and the River Valley. No development ever behind you. It is a spectacular home. $2.5 million grand prize package. You get the house plus $100,000 cash. There's another big deadline coming up, though, and to talk a little bit more about that, Megan Wenger with Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. Tell me about the bonus prize.
It's a good one, Josh. So
they're always good, Megan.
But I mean, come on. This one is a Porsche Cayenne, so you can hit the road. beautiful car.
Yes.
And you know, some people aren't into driving, so you can choose $120,000 cash. So really, it's an awesome, awesome prize, but you only have until midnight tomorrow to be in.
Even if you're not into driving, that Porsche car, we'll show you it a little later in the newscast. It may change your mind about driving. But you're right, $120,000 would be life-changing for a lot of folks as well. Speaking of life-changing, when people buy their tickets, talk about where the money is going at this lottery.
Yeah, so the Mighty Millions Lottery is one of our biggest fundraisers each year. And recently we just announced that we're on a journey to build a standalone stollery. Right. And that is so exciting, not only for us at the foundation, but for Albertans in general. But there's a whole group of kids that are at the stollery that need care right now. So when you buy your Mighty Millions Lottery ticket, you're helping make sure that we can purchase specialized equipment to take care of the kids that need it now. So no kid is left behind.
Okay, MightyMillionsLottery.com is where you get your tickets. And if you're even thinking about getting tickets at some point in this lottery, get them before midnight tomorrow so that you're in for that bonus prize as well. Don't forget about the 50-50, just over $1.1 million on the 50-50. And ticket sales, how are ticket sales going?
We're almost 70% sold.
Okay.
So they're going fast.
Now's the time to go to MightyMillionsLottery.com and get your tickets. Megan, thank you. Take a look outside. We'll go to the forecast in a moment, but first take a look outside with the CTV drone on a beautiful, warm afternoon in Edmonton. Drones brought to you by Century Casinos. 3 great locations, St. Albert, Edmonton, and Century Mile. 6 degrees for a daytime high today. It is 4 currently in downtown Edmonton. 3s and 4s outside the city right now. I think temperatures tomorrow will be a degree or 2 warmer than what we got to today. So again, above 0 and above average, -2, the average daytime high for this time of year. There's look at some of the partly cloudy skies that we have in the Edmonton area. We'll keep those through this evening and overnight tonight. -7 around midnight, and then climbing to -4 tomorrow morning, 7 or 8 for a high tomorrow afternoon. That looks good in the afternoon. The problem tomorrow is going to be the morning commute. Could be some patchy freezing rain. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, progress being made rebuilding Jasper as the feds and province spend millions to build more affordable housing.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
Jasper's mayor says progress on rebuilding the town is ahead of schedule. That's thanks in part to the provincial and federal governments spending millions of dollars on new building projects. CTV's Evan Kenny is in Jasper with more on the latest housing development.
The federal and provincial governments have teamed up, giving nearly $21 million to build these affordable housing units on the west end of Connaught Drive. Ottawa is giving $14.3 million for phase 1 of the project. That's going towards the construction of 40 units. The province is giving $6.5 million through Alberta's Affordable Housing Partnership Program. The government of Alberta is giving an additional $5.5 million to phase 2 of this project, which will build 40 more units. Jasper's mayor says the town was already short about 600 housing units before the fire and lost roughly 820 units in the fire. He says building projects are ahead of schedule.
We have exceeded where we thought we would be for 2025. So we thought potentially a third of the buildings that were lost might get started, and we are over 100 now. We consider that to be exceptional progress.
This land was sold to the town of Jasper by Parks Canada for $1. Phase 1 of this project is expected to be complete at the end of this year. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Jasper.
Condo owners are reacting to the news. Alberta is getting a condo dispute resolution tribunal. Donna Stevenson has lived in this Rutherford condo for 12 years. She says she's cautiously optimistic about the new service. The province says it will help condo owners settle disputes outside the court system. It will cost $150 to file an application. Stevenson fears owners who go that route may still be at a disadvantage.
When we found out that boards could have lawyer representation, and yes, owners can too, add another expense for the owners, where the boards don't necessarily pay, it's corporation money per se, that they're using.
The province says lawyers are not required to participate in the tribunal, but Albertans have the right to seek legal advice or representation if they feel it's necessary. Several health organizations warn Alberta's plan to allow doctors to work in public and private care could drive up wait times. The Canadian Medical Association, Canadian Doctors for Medicare, and the Canadian Health Coalition agree. The groups say doctors can't be in two places at once, and if physicians are seeing patients in a private pay-out-of-pocket system, that could mean fewer spots for people relying on the public healthcare system. The Premier says her government will monitor physician workloads to ensure doctors perform the same level of public and private treatments. Some doctors say there's not enough physicians to ensure a proper balance.
If you compare us to other countries that have done this, have private for-pay systems, some having dual physician practice, they have about twice as many anaesthetists and surgeons as we have. So what that means is in Alberta, if a surgeon is operating on a patient in the private for-pay system, they're not operating in the public system.
Healthcare advocates are now calling on Ottawa to enforce the Canada Health Act, suggesting Alberta's two-tier system violates a patient's accessibility to healthcare. Danielle Smith disputes that and says she expects Bill 11 to be implemented later this year. Still to come tonight on CTV News, stories from survivors. A new exhibit explores the often hidden world of domestic violence.
Domestic violence is everybody's problem.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Coming up on Friday in your morning, challenging women's roles in traditional work settings and work-life balance. Plus, your final say in Edmontonian Awards. See you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
35 years ago today, a relatively unknown band at the time, Nirvana, performed in Edmonton at the Bronx, which is now the Starlight Room. It was the first and only time Nirvana played in Edmonton to a little more than 100 people. They were introducing their new drummer, Dave Grohl, who now fronts the Foo Fighters. They also talked about the release of their upcoming album, Nevermind, which brought grunge to the mainstream and ended up being one of the best-selling albums of all time. Josh, we hope the Mighty Millions lottery supporting the Stollery Children's Hospital is a bestseller this year. Look at some of the great prizes you could win, including that Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah, the house is spectacular. The Porsche Cayenne is the bonus prize. So you either win this spectacular car or $120,000 cash. But you got to go to MightyMillionsLottery.com before midnight tomorrow. That's the bonus prize deadline. Let's take a look outside right now with the River Valley Sky Cam. It's brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Temperatures hitting 6 degrees for a daytime high earlier in the day today. We've got some cloud cover sliding back in. It's 4 downtown right now. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, in the shade, it's still cool. 5 degrees in Jasper, -6 in Fort McMurray this afternoon, and 1 in Red Deer, where we've had some flurries rolling through the area earlier in the day today. You can see north of Red Deer right now, you got a little pocket of snow. Here in Edmonton, just some clouds through the early evening, then partly cloudy mid to late evening. Overnight tonight, after midnight, that cloud cover will thicken up once again, and then watch tomorrow morning. I know the temperatures look really nice for the next couple of days. Lots of people happy about the warm conditions through the afternoon hours. But tomorrow morning, either wet snow or maybe even a little bit of a rain-snow mix from Edmonton off to the north and northwest. As the morning carries on, that stretches off into east central Alberta. And temperatures at that time tomorrow morning, right around the morning commute, they will be below zero by 3 or 4 degrees. So even if it's not flat-out rain that's freezing on contact, if it's not technically freezing rain, you are still likely going to have some fairly slick and icy conditions, at least on side streets and sidewalks, if not on roadways and highways in the area. So keep that in mind for tomorrow morning. Could be an ugly start to the day. We'll see some sunny breaks, though, in the afternoon and up to about 7 or 8 for a daytime high. Another shot of some precipitation potentially late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Looks like most of this will be through the overnight period for the Edmonton region. That should be rain as opposed to snow. Now, in the city, temperatures are probably above zero at that point, so I don't think it'll be freezing rain, although, again, you're going to have some slick side streets and sidewalks, and just north of the city, you do run the risk of seeing some patchy freezing rain there overnight Friday night. Further north, Cold Lake up towards Fort McMurray and high level, that'll be snow. Maybe a couple centimeters worth of snow. Through the course of the day Saturday, mixed sun and cloud here in Edmonton. Western parts of the province getting some afternoon showers on Saturday. Minus 13 Fort McMurray tomorrow morning. Minus 1 in Grand Prairie, about minus 9 for Red Deer. Fort McMurray minus 11 for a daytime high tomorrow. So a couple of degrees cooler than it was today, but just to the south, Cold Lake, Lac La Biche should be 2 or 3 degrees above zero. 3 in Grand Prairie, about 6 or 7 for Jasper and Red Deer, and 2 or 3 degrees above zero in Lloydminster. Here at Edmonton, minus 7 around midnight, climbing to minus 4 tomorrow morning with that chance of some mixed precipitation or freezing rain. Then sunny breaks and 7 or 8 for a daytime high tomorrow afternoon. 10, maybe a degree or 2 warmer than that on Saturday. Don't forget time change this weekend. And the weather changes again after Saturday. Still mild on Sunday, but cooling off for the early to middle part of next week.
All right, Josh, thank you. An art installation has returned to Kingsway Mall to shine a light on domestic violence. This display is both a fundraiser and awareness campaign for Win House Women's Shelter. The model home is designed to look unassuming from the front. In the back, though, dioramas of places around the home where real Win House clients have experienced violence or abuse. Shoppers can listen to their stories through a pair of giant headphones. Win House says sharing these stories sheds light on an issue that often happens out of sight.
Domestic violence is everybody's problem, and until we all can talk about it, speak of it, try to find solutions for it, it's going to stay with us.
Last year, Win House took in more than 400 women and children at its 3 shelters. It said it had to turn away more than 1,800 people fleeing violence because there wasn't enough space. Campaign organizers hope to raise $25,000 for Win House by the end of this month. When we return, from dinosaurs to mammals, fabricators in Drumheller are working on a different kind of skeleton.
Programming brought to you by Senior Home Care by Angels, Canada's choice in home care.
Fabricators at Drumheller's Dinosaur Valley Studios are creating an exhibit with a blue whale skeleton. The adult male skeleton measures a little more than 22 meters long. It was found beached on the coast of Oregon in 2015. The team at Drumheller is creating a display for Oregon State University. It's constructed a steel structure to hold the skeleton, and each individual bone can be removed and studied by researchers.
Right now we're in the home stretch. We have the armature completely finished. All of the bones have their cradles, they're in place. We're happy with how everything is articulated. Now it's going to be the matter of just prepping and coating the armature for protection from the elements so it doesn't rust and things like that.
The blue whale skeleton is expected to make the trip back to Oregon in May. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.